Come on in here. Good morning. Rise and shine. Rise and shine. Good morning. Hey, Tammy. It's a little hot in here. There's an announcement today from Trump. I think they have it scheduled, I think, for 11. A few minutes. He has some type of announcement coming up. We're going to be live later on the main channel, as you probably saw, covering the Gene Hackman update. I've seen there's been updates with Brian Koberger, too. I don't know if I should update that at some point. Mr. Trump. Let's see. Let's watch something in the meantime.
Get to the table right now before it is too late. Now, this also comes as President Trump is also withholding aid from Ukraine temporarily. And we're going to continue to follow the very latest developments as President Trump on Monday directed a pause to U.S. assistance to Ukraine as he seeks to pressure Ukrainian President Zelensky to engage in negotiations to end the war with Russia. President Trump continuing to focus on reaching a peace deal and wanting both. Zelensky and Putin committed to that goal. And so right now, the U.S. pausing that aid to Ukraine. And now this statement from President Trump this morning stating that he is strongly considering large-scale sanctions and tariffs on Russia until a ceasefire and final settlement agreement on peace is reached. No word yet on what President Trump will be speaking on as he is set to deliver remarks in just a matter of moments. We will bring those remarks to you.
Okay, so Trump has some remarks coming out. Breaking news, some announcements. I don't know what he's announcing, but so I wanted to just jump on for a little bit and see. I hope you guys are doing good, man. I've been trying to be more active, but I'm also just taking care of a lot of stuff, mental health, all that good stuff, making sure I'm good, exercising. I was at the gym this morning. I went for a walk. I went to the gym, forgot my second phone at the gym, went back, got it. Then apparently the S Pen fell out of it. Had to go back and get that. So I got my calories in with weights. I did weights today. I did walking today. I'm supposed to go to the park in a little while, meet some friends, have some lunch. Yeah, I'm already almost exceeded my calories that I needed for the day in the morning. It's only 11 o'clock. It's Friday. The freaks come out. The freaks come out. I did some weights today, Hoax. Yeah, my goal is to start doing a little bit more weights. The only thing is I don't have any organization. I'm in there just doing whatever. 11 a.m. press. Trump. Trumpito. How do you like this format? Are you asking me or people in the chat? Me? I prefer horizontal streaming instead of vertical, but since this channel is so small, it seems like doing shorts or shorts lives taps into different audiences. So I figured, why not try? Just lift, do a set. Yeah, that's what I did. I was just doing some dumbbells. I did some sit-ups. I was doing some leg presses. There was something else. National Women's Day. Oh, yeah, it's National, isn't it Women's Month? It's Women's Month. Let me play the theme.
They have Black History Month, Homosexual History Month, Japanese History Month, Chinese History Month, Asian History Month, Women History Month, Abortion History Month, Cancer History Month.
Happy Women's Month. All right. Happy Women's Month. Trump is supposed to be, I guess they're showing something else, but Trump is supposed to be doing a presser within a few minutes. Let me see if he's going to go live on the White House page too. Let's see if I can get it from the horse's mouth. The source. White House. I don't see anything scheduled. I just see multiple news channels live. So we'll see. Trump. I don't know what he's going to announce. Tariffs. Russia. Upcoming News Nation. Trump addresses jobs report. Oh, that's the one thing I heard. I heard the jobs reports might be really bad. We'll have to see. You prefer normal? I prefer normal too. Okay, I like the feedback. You guys tell me that too. We'll stick to that. I mean, I mostly plan to do that. You guys let me know. It's a weird setup, the vertical. White History Month. I remember who started? JLP started that White History Month. They canceled him. You get a tariff. You get a tariff. You get a tariff. Yes, Stewart's mom. I think that too. The exercise thing. I've been in just a really good mood. Up early, getting sun, walking. I'm drinking matcha tea now and coffee. I cut the pre-workout out. Let's see. Elon Musk. A shorts blocker? What does that do? Oh, Island Thrifts, good morning. I didn't realize you said that. I like that you can see the chat better on the normal screen. I think so too. I think you see the chat better. I think it looks normal. I was just testing it out, but yeah, I do like the. I've never been really. Everybody's different, you know. I've never really been a vertical person. I've tried to do TikTok too. It's just awkward to me, like the vertical thing on TikTok, like this, holding the phone up and stuff. Feel more comfortable horizontal. I like to have the space to the screen space and maneuvering and flexibility, you know. Why did the live look like this? Because we're streaming in vertical. This is what the kids are doing now. Vertical streaming. It's supposed to tap into a different audience, but maybe we'll just stick to the regular. F it. Right? Like, who cares, right? Especially over here. So yeah, Trump's supposed to make a big announcement. Let's see what else is happening today. It's Friday. The Idaho murders. There's been a lot of updates with the Idaho murders. Some text messages that's come out, and a piece of a 911 call. I might cover it at some point. I feel like my mind's disconnected from that story because I've just been waiting for the trial, but it is interesting or eerie to see some of the text messages going back and forth. I'm just kind of like ready for that trial to happen already. Let's see what else. Trump halts aid to South Africa. Offers refuge to farmers. Yeah, the farmers are getting killed out there. The white farmers. Countries allege confiscation of land and farms from farmers as a socialist land grabs. Run! Get out while you can. Russian missile hit Ukrainian cities. Where's Fox at? We're still waiting on Trump. They said it was for 11, but he still hasn't started. Which I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, as my daughter Maddie would say. I'm not surprised. That math shit, man. The math homework these kids are getting now. Bro, I gotta scan the QR code because I don't even know how to do it. I don't think it's shorts. Really? Oh. When your phone shows up like that, it looks weird for you guys? It doesn't look like a normal shorts? Uh-oh. Let's see. It can mill. Oh, maybe it doesn't even look like a shorts. Let's see. It can mill. Politics. Up like that? Oh, it looks weird for you guys? Oh, it looks normal to me. Sometimes it gets into this weird screen. Let's see. It can mill. Oh, maybe it doesn't even look like a shorts. Let me send that. Almost got 200 people in here. 200! I forgot we're streaming everywhere else too. Well, since we're waiting, let's pull up some videos. Let's pull up, let's see. I know I bookmarked some stuff. I'm always bookmarking stuff to share on live. Bum, 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 bum. My husband goes to the bathroom. Why is he in there so long?
Every time my husband goes to the bathroom, he's always taking his cell phone along with a bunch of other stuff. He stays in there forever. Why do men have the bathroom as a hideout spot? It's so unusual. It's just so unusual.
No, it's not. It's the perfect place. It's the place where nobody even wants to come. It's about, men love the bathroom. I know I do. Most fellas love the bathroom. Yeah, you're going to take your cell phone. You ought to see my bathroom. You would hate me.
I'm in the bathroom for a long time, too. I'm watching videos and researching and whatever. Oh, this was interesting. I saw this the other day. I don't know what you guys think. Okay, so this guy was talking about, and I have to look this up. Trump apparently had suggested, he says, ex-felons with 12 years or more automatically gets record expunged. What do you guys think about that? Like for another chance to get a job, to vote, I guess, or what? Ex-felons, 12 years or more expunged. I haven't even heard of that until I saw this video. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if he mentioned it somewhere. I can't find anything about it, but let's watch it.
For 12 years or more, you automatically qualify for a record expunge. Now, that's a touchy topic right there. I have no problem with it. Trust me, I have no problem with that. Being an ex-felon, wanting to be an open gun carrier, wanting to get better credit, wanting to get better jobs. I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with, does it only qualify for us, or does it qualify for the pedos? Those dudes that like to prey on the youngins. Because if that's the case, man, that's a no-no. They should have no rights to get any record expunged. You feel me? But damn, more than 12 years, you get your record expunged for all ex-felons. That's cool, man. That's good, because a lot of people out there can't get jobs, righteous jobs, because of their background. And I'm talking about government jobs. You want a government job, they look through all your stuff. They want to make sure you have no criminal record at all. So I think what Trump's doing, as far as us ex-felons expunging your record after 12 years, I think that's great news. What do you guys?
So that's the only person I heard say that. I don't know if that's actually happening. Let's see. We're still waiting for this press thing. Trump, I figured it was going to be late. I figured he'd probably start later, but while we wait for Trump, there was this guy streaming. I don't know why these people do this, but he's streaming all his drugs, flexing.
Running with this sick, like,
Yeah, we gonna smoke it up. We got that purple Urkel.
Everything purple, baby.
Purple bag, baby. Purple bag. Streaming. Drugs.
Everything purple, baby, man.
I guess weed.
Everything purple, baby. I'm rocking purple.
Oh!
See your hands. Move. Show me your hands. Stay right there. Stand up. You gotta turn around.
Oh, that flexing.
Stand up. Stand up and put your hands on your fucking head. Turn away from me. Back up. Back up. Keep coming. Keep coming, motherfucker. Stand up. Anyway, we got somebody behind. Walk that way. Put your hands above your head. Ma'am. Stand up. Put your hands on the back of your head. Hold left.
Flexing gone wrong. Flexing gone wrong. Oh, man. So we're going to be live today on the main channel at, I don't even know what time what time did I say? Put it for? Let's see, it could mail 3:30. I might jump on earlier if something pops off or somebody tries to, sometimes people. But I have it set for 3:30. There's going to be a major update with Gene Hackman. Major update later on the main channel. I only have one notification there, so I'm kind of holding off a little bit. Plus Friday, sometimes it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I want to let unless something breaking happens, I'll just jump on. But if not, we'll hold the notification, hold the line, hold the fort. So U.S. President Donald Trump is expected to make unscheduled remarks at the White House shortly. They said it was for 11, but, I guess everybody's just waiting now. Starting late, I guess. Waiting on Trump. Jojo, what's up? Trump wants the gold card. You gotta pay $5 million for the gold card. You can buy your immigration status. Your status. Let me see what else we got. Oh, what the hell is that? What the? Oh. I wonder if we should update this. Is this the lady? Oh my God. Hold on. Michigan woman was convicted of second-degree murder. So some of you guys, I know Hoax. I don't know who else. You guys remember, I covered this story. I think this was the lady that barreled through. The lady, she was drunk. And she drove through like a kid's party, like a house or something. It wasn't a house. It was some type of structure. And her car went full speed and smashed into it and killed a mother and her kids. Woman killed, children 4, 8, kids' dream birthday DUI crash. That included video of her binge drinking inside her home hours earlier. How the hell do they have... How's there a video of this lady binge drinking before? I don't see the video. I want to know if there's what's this lady's name? Mariah Dobbs. I want to see if I can find if they have the video. It must be posted somewhere if it was in the trial. But anyway, she was found guilty of second degree. Looks like second degree murder on Thursday. Oh, yesterday. Wow. Really horrible situation. I wish I could find that video. It took the jury 90 minutes.
Cross Country Life donated $4.99 through Super Chat. What happened to their guy on the power line? I was live with you like 4 hours.
Cross Country, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate the support. That situation, so I ended up getting off. We passed the torch to Ice Cold Audits. Ice Cold Audits stayed on for a while. Then he got off, and then AXN News covered it. So I went to sleep. I woke up that morning. I went to sleep like at 12. It was late for me, I think, or 1. I think it was, I don't know. I woke up like I was hungover. That's how much now when you get older. It's on Court TV? Okay, let me check it out. Anyway, I woke up that morning and I'm like, okay, what happened to that guy? I was telling Nat, like, what happened to that guy? Whatever. We start looking. I was like, because it has to be over. No. I woke up, the guy was still hanging from the electric pole. Bro. So eventually, because I was taking my daughter to school, I was about to jump on live again, but he had come down. He ended up coming down on his own, and the cops arrested him. And that was that. And I heard they took him to like a mental hospital or something. Oh, here you go. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Joy. I see the video now. Let's see. While we wait for Trump.
Testimony is coming to an end in the birthday party murder trial. In April of 2024, Marcella Chittister crashed into a building south of Detroit, killing 2 kids who were inside at a birthday party. More than a dozen others were injured. Police say Chittister was intoxicated at the time of the crash. Let's go back into the courtroom now. We've seen a lot of evidence of her. She bought booze the day of. It was the day of the incident. She showed up at 9 a.m. to a liquor store and got some wine, 4-pack of these small glasses or small bottles of Pinot Grigio. and a bottle of cab. Then now we've heard testimony of a bottle was found in her vehicle, an empty bottle. And more bottles were found at the house, empty bottles, those small ones. Well, now we have another witness who apparently has some video. Let's watch.
Hooper. Thank you, Judge. Sergeant, you testified previously that you executed a search warrant on defendant's home. Is that correct?
Yes.
And when was that done?
That would have been Monday.
I'm just going to skip to the video. Let's see. By the way, for the Trump's announcement thing, there's no topic listed. So I don't know. It hasn't been said what he's actually going to mention or say. So.
Please. 1 second, don't play it just yet. Detective, can you, for me, tell me what the date and time is on this?
So the original date and time is 4/20 of.
Damn, so she had cameras in her house, I guess? Oh, jeez. You got some about tacos on Facebook.
Please play 38B.
Okay, so they got video from her house.
10:24 and 38 seconds a.m.
Please play. Fast forward a little bit. What's the accurate time then?
10:45 and 12 seconds a.m. on the 20th.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna just fast forward this already. So yeah, self-snitching, I guess, drinking the morning. Really horrible story. I wonder how much time she got. We're still waiting on Trump. I'm supposed to go out too. Lord almighty. Trump, I was hoping you were gonna come at 11. Oh, they're live now. Okay, Trump's live. The White House page is live. All right. Maybe they'll start soon. White House page. Mr. Trump. Oh, somebody on Facebook was mentioning, what's that lady? Crazy lady's name? God, I forgot. The lady that killed her mother, allegedly. Good morning, Facebook. Doris, Rodana, Terry. Dave, troublemaker. Oh yeah, Casey Anthony. Yeah, so she was threatening to sue people. She did not get a warm welcome, man. They've been running her ass through the ground from what I've seen on social media and Twitter or X. Been rolling her ass, man. I'm sure she still has support. I'm sure there's people that love her, but damn, Johnny Samada pleaded guilty to obstruction and business of other minor charges in South Korean court. Could be potentially facing 5 years. Bro. Let's see, werewolf, I mean. But, you know, she wasn't found guilty. I didn't follow the trial. I didn't follow the story. I know it was a big story. And I still say I should watch a documentary. I should check out a documentary on that. I don't know I'm sure there's multiple documentaries. Waiting on Trump's announcement. Let me see if they're saying anything. This was yesterday. Woman strips naked and runs down an aisle before takeoff of the Southwest flight. There's a lot of people that are unhinged or going through whatever. There was a guy that came on with a shotgun. Oh, let me show you in case for those that missed it. I posted it on Ikid Mel CC. Make sure you're subscribed over there too. I'm going to try to. I've been posting little things here and there, but I'm going to try be somewhat active or short videos when I can. This was breaking news, come in.
Bombing a Melbourne plane while armed with a shotgun and knives. Police say the teen boarded the Jetstar flight bound for Sydney yesterday, but was stopped in his tracks before anything horrific happened.
Look at a little Wonka. Wooly Wonka. He's little so skinny, little bubby. Little incel bubby, grabbed him by his torso and neck and yonked by his arms. Mommy didn't breastfeed him growing up.
Thankfully, 7 News understands the man may have climbed over a fence at Avalon Airport, telling staff he was a maintenance worker there. He was taken down by hero passengers, including Barry, who's a sheep shearer, and the pilot who helped.
He was dead silent. His eyes... There was no emotion in his eyes at all. It was so scary.
In his eyes. He's a terrorist.
17-year-old has been charged with a run.
That's right. Protect the terrorist's identity.
After offences, including unlawfully taking.
Look how stiff he is too. He yoked his eyes so skinny.
Control of an aircraft. A teenager.
Knock his ass over the head. Came in there with a shotgun and a knife, ready to do some damage. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. He needs some milk. I wonder how long Trump is going to be talking. Oh, thank you, Down at the Ring. That's this is the Aura ring. I love it. It's like you track while you're sleeping. I think it's better than the watch, the Apple Watch, but they work together too. Like you can sync them together. But the ring is dope. I like the ring a lot. I track my calories, my sleep. So they gave me less. Usually it's a 650 gold. They lowered it today because I'm not sure why. My readiness is low for some reason. Maybe because I've been exercising too much. I don't know. Recovery index. A sign of very good recovery is that your resting heart rate lowers during the first half of the night. I don't know, but yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot. Keeps me more conscious. Tracks my steps and calories and whatever. Heart rate, supposed stress. It's cool. Yeah, Trump. I know Trump. I usually like Trump. I give him like a 2-hour slot. Like I know he's gonna be talking for a while. Usually, 2 hours. And I'm supposed to go have lunch. Nick Fuentes said, once you reach a certain age, it's time to put away the t-shirts and shorts. You can't be an old guy walking around a t-shirt with a design on it. I think he's talking about, oh Lord, people posting Kanye West with his swastika shirt. I love wearing shorts and a button-up shirt, like a nice shirt. Feels like a Florida vibe. Nice button-up shirt and some shorts. It's too hot. Fire abandoned gas station. A fire has broken out at a closed gas station. Reports suggest they may have been intentionally set on fire.
Gentlemen's time's expired. Chair recognizes Dr. Fox from North Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Johnson, in the last 4 years, how much has Chicago spent on care for illegal aliens?
Thank you for that question, Congresswoman. So since 2022, since the governor of Texas began
Just
shipping...
tell me a number. I don't need a speech. Just tell me a number.
So since 2022, since the governor of Texas was shipping individuals to cities across this country, the city's budget, roughly 1% of the city's budget over the course of 4 years.
Mayor Johnston, the same question, and I don't need a speech, just a number.
Thank you, Dr. Congresswoman. Thank you, Congresswoman. It's $79 million over the last 2.5 years.
Mayor Adams, same question. How much has New York spent to care for illegal aliens?
Approximately $6.9 billion went out of our taxpayers' funds.
Mayor Wu, same question. How much has Boston spent to care for illegal aliens in the last 4 years?
We do not ask about immigration status and giving city services and providing that access, so we do not have a number.
Taxpayers have been bearing the brunt of the massive wave of illegal aliens who've entered the United States. The Biden administration seemingly declared taxpayers and hardworking Americans collateral damage in the pursuit of open borders. Again, Mayor Johnson, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Chicago?
Have any other reports? In accordance with the Welcoming City Ordinance, our sister agencies or city departments, we do not seek the status of any individual that is seeking service.
Mayor Johnston, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Denver?
Closest in the main.
Thank you, ma'am. When folks arrive on the streets without food or resources or shelter, we do provide food or shelter regardless of where folks arrive from.
Mayor Adams, same question.
Yes, in combination of city agencies and nonprofits, we responded to the migrant asylum seekers humanitarian crisis that hit our city.
And Mayor Wu, I assume you don't know their status, but do you know if there are NGOs are providing services to people arriving in your city without any kind of documentation?
There are community organizations, many of them in Boston, who seek to serve all of our Boston residents.
Congress must provide oversight and ensure.
Okay, that was it. Miss Fox. Don't mess with Miss Fox. Chubb, where are you? I guess he's going to start at 12. Oh, man. I show speed beat every YouTuber on Mr. Beast's world fastest treadmill.
No, this is for real. Don't take it out. Go to your right a little bit. Squeeze in. Squeeze over to the side. Speed. Hey, break up the speed. Speed this way, this way, this way. You got it. Okay. How you guys feeling? What's wrong? Hey, a little faster. Whoa. A little faster.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Who's that, XQC? Competition. Good. Yeah. Damn, Trump. I should have known, man. I could have gotten a lunch and came back, Trump. It's illegal to tell men you're trans now. What?
Anymore. Trump said it's only two genders, and I chose female. So if a man asks me, I'm female. Via our president's orders, I have to tell you that because it's only two genders. And I can't tell you male because that's not in my documentation. I'd be lying. So that would be, considered illegal. So thank you, Trump. You made it easier for me.
Whoa. I don't even think you can tell. What the?
Regardless of the stitch, I never have to tell a man I'm trans anymore. Trump.
Oh. Wow. Y'all better be careful now, man. Damn. So so I guess she's saying, yeah, okay, y'all said it's two genders, so I don't gotta say nothing. Yeah.
Trump said it's only two genders, and I chose female.
But she's picking her own thing. That's the only thing. I don't know if you just get to pick. But.
So if a man asks me, I'm female. Via our president's orders, I have to tell you that because it's only two genders. And I can't tell you male because that's not in my documentation. I'd be lying. So that would be...
Can you tell? You can tell? Oh, man. Let's see. Damn. Kanye speaks about Dave Blunt's controversial lyrics. Montoya. That's a tough question. You can only use one for the next 2 years. This looks like a Samsung and a iPhone Max Pro. If I could only use one for the next 2 years, that's tough, man. I like how snappy the Samsung is in the camera. There's some things that are just more beneficial, I think, on the iPhone. I even like how this feels in my hand. It's lighter too. That's kind of a tough pick. I like having both. I don't know. It's a tough one. I said I'm going iPhone. Galaxy is the king for tech. S25 Ultra for sure because I never feel bored with the One UI. Hands down. There's a lot of customization with the Samsung options if you want to. Layla says Samsung. Jem says Samsung. B12 Samsung. Jennifer Samsung. Damn. Samsungs are closing in on Apple cameras. Yeah, they really are. I mean, the OS, the operating systems, they've really almost somewhat similar. There's a few little knickknacks I think that I like more on the iPhone, and there's a few things that I like on Samsung. And there's sometimes potentially the Samsung can take sometimes more detail, more quality, but then I feel like the camera on the iPhone sometimes is just better pictures. Sometimes I like the zoom in on the Samsung is really nice. Or macro photos. I think macro photos might be better on the Samsung. I don't like you can't iMessage though. I don't like not having iMessage. That kind of sucks. I mean, you do have RCS messaging now with rich something messaging, which makes things a little bit more better quality text. Faster text, faster pictures, better quality pictures, better quality videos. I don't think it's still on par with iPhone when you're texting pictures, but it's close. It's gotten better. Samsung is better for quality and durability. Amethyst says iPhone. I feel like the iPhones retain their value longer, though, no? The iPhone is nice if you have a MacBook already, too. Like, if you have a MacBook, it's just all kind of linked together, which is kind of nice. But then Samsung has the thing for Windows. So if you have Windows, you can use Windows Link, and you can link your text messages and calls if you want to. I guess there's things on both sides, but I do like how snappy and fast this is. iMessage is on iPhone, and it's basically their messaging system. And so you send pictures, and it goes really fast, and it's really high quality, and videos too, high quality. And then you have FaceTime. You don't have to download any app. That's the only thing with Android is like you have to download some type of app for FaceTime and all this stuff. And a lot of the business people that I've talked to, at least, they all have iPhone. Eve is asking too, what's iMessage? Be glad you can afford a nice phone at all with our economy. Well, a lot of times people finance it, which the financing thing is kind of a scam, I think. This one's financed, but I traded in a phone. But it's all a scam, because I financed a phone, an old iPhone, like an iPhone 12. I consider it old. iPhone 12. And so instead of giving you the full credit towards your new phone, they give you that credit monthly. And so if I wanted to cancel this shit and like, you know what, I'm taking this and moving somewhere else, I would lose the trade-in value over the monthly period. And basically I gave in a phone for free, and I'd lose all the credit on this, and I'd have to pay this off. It's bullshit. This one I bought out. I just paid full price. I went to Best Buy and got this, the Samsung. And so I can do whatever I want with it. I can take it wherever I want. And probably, instead of trading in, if I ever do, I should probably just sell it and get cash instead of financing or whatever. They just, all they do is try to keep you in. They finance it over like a 3-year period. And then if you want a new phone, oh, well, you got to trade in the phone you're financing. It will put you on another credit line for another 3 years. They just suck you in. You know? Yeah, it's like signing a contract without signing. Yeah. So it really depends how often you're going to get a phone or not. I like to have it, if possible, paid off. I mean, if you're going to be getting new phones every year, every 2 years, I guess can't hurt to finance it. What if iPhones are messaging each other to talk shit about you? Rachel, what's up? Yo, I can't believe. Oh wait, are we live yet? Still not live. I wonder if something happened with Trump. Let's see. Okay. Let me just check this. Yeah, sometimes they have good deals and trade-in values at Samsung, the website. I think they were saying Eastern. Happening now. See. Everybody's just waiting. Bill Nye the Science Guy, he's making remarks. Lawmakers rally against Trump. Cuts to science research. Uh-oh. Bill Nye the Science Guy. I guess he's going to talk out. Speak out. Boo, boo, boo. Somebody said, is he 4 minutes late? 40 minutes late. Thanks to the hard work of South African activists, commentators, and citizen journalists, the truth about racism, violence, and gross mismanagement of South Africa has come to light. Damn. Wow, this is crazy. Let me show this video. I guess they feel they're getting payback. Let's see, bookmarks. They're saying this is the graveyards of all the white South Africans that have been killed just for being white. Wow. It's time to go. Oof. South Africa is on edge of a socialist abyss.
140 race-based laws in South Africa, all anti-white.
Wow.
And 8 days ago, Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, signed into law, and just hear these three words, expropriation without compensation. And this is just the straw that broke the camel's back. There's been endless laws, anti-white, boiling us like a frog in a bowl. And all I can say is thank you, America, and thank you, Donald Trump, for taking notice, because we are on the edge of the socialist abyss.
So how do you guys get out of this? Obviously, there's a complex racial history there. How do you reverse some of this? I mean, that's an awful lot of laws, and
I don't think we can internally. We have to wait till the 2029 national election, and I don't think our economy will survive. It requires some external dynamic to change it. And I think Donald Trump and America taking notice and coming in swinging with a baseball bat may be that dynamic we need.
So when you saw over the last couple of years in America, wokeness infecting our systems, and suddenly we were focused on race and we were putting it into it was this very people who said we were systemically racist that were putting racism into the system in a systemic way, must have given you a little concern about the direction we're going, as much as that's now been rolled back.
Well, we've been infected in South Africa with the evil woke mind virus way more than in America. We've got it times 2. And there's no momentum in South Africa to reverse it. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
Wow. Yeah, if possible. I mean, I'm sure there's people there that can't get out, but if possible, I'd get the hell out of there. Let them be with themselves then. We'll see how that place turns out. Wow. That's crazy. So at this point, I'm guessing Trump maybe will start at 12. I guess it'll come at 12. Maybe something came up. Well, Associated Press has something scheduled for 12. So maybe, man, I don't know. I guess it got pushed back. We'll see. Any phone is better than a payphone. Yeah, I remember those. I mean, I used to have a Nokia. Those were classic with the snake game on it. Nokia, those phones did last. Those phones were sturdy too. You could drop them, kick them, throw them. I used to have a BlackBerry too back in the day. BlackBerry. I used to have the HTC phone. All right, let's see what else is popping. Andrew Tate. Supposedly Florida is investigating him. We'll see if they actually do anything, or if they can do anything. Damn, homeless encampment cleared out in D.C. have started being cleared after President Trump ordered the mayor to clean up. Gotta clean up. Good morning. What's up, sweet potatoes? You had a crystal pager? Wow, you ran over your Nokia. I ran over my Nokia once, and that bitch didn't have a scratch. Dang. I think my first cell phone was when I was 17 too. Jennifer said it was a prepaid phone, and I remember being so freaking happy. I was really happy too with my first one. My daughter has a tablet. I didn't have anything like that. Well, I had Super Nintendo. Anyone try those organic sweet potato sticks from Costco? No. I did have some organic sweet potato. They were like white potatoes, but they were sweet potato. It's just less sweet. Got that from the farm, organic. That was really good. And it's really filling too. The Nokia phones had I forgot about the walkie-talkie stuff. Wasn't that like a Nextel too or something like that? Nextel? I thought people would that was so cool. Or was it Motorola? Damn. I dropped my Nokia from a 2-story deck onto my windshield. Cracked the windshield. Phone was perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, we got less than 9 minutes. Let's see if they actually start. U.S. CDC plans study into vaccines and autism. Interesting. They've always said there's no correlation, but over here they're saying they're going to look into it. U.S. CDC plans study into vaccines and autism. Gypsy Blanchard. Called out by Casey Anthony. Oh.
Convicted killer is coming at Casey Anthony for launching her career as a legal advocate.
How are you going to hate on her? Wait, hold on. Who's hating on who?
I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can
She really might be the best one to give you some advice.
utilize so they actually know where they can turn to.
How'd she pull it off?
None other than Gypsy Rose says that Casey should not be giving legal advice to anyone.
Oh, no. A war between the two. Oh, no. Gypsy, yeah, convicted killer. You know, she says she was abused and all this stuff. Killed her mama with the boyfriend. I think she kind of manipulated the guy. Why is he still serving all this time? Right? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Gypsy has some choice words.
Let alone making them pay for it.
Oh, and pay for it too, yo? She's hustling.
Gypsy Rose served 7 years in prison for her role in the 2015 murder of her own mother. But she's apparently offering advice to Luigi Mangione. You know him.
Yeah, she did give some advice to
The
Luigi.
man accused of killing the United Healthcare CEO, and Gypsy Rose is also offering some advice to the Menendez brothers.
Wow, and the Menendez, which, by the way, Nat had sent me a story. Sent me a story about this kid that killed his mother and in Wisconsin. And he killed the mother just because, well, he said he was inspired by the Menendez brothers. I was like, what? Inspired. Teen charge with fatally stabbing mother in Wisconsin, says Menendez brothers documentary inspired him. The brothers did inspire me. That's horrible, man. I was inspired, and it's a 15-year-old. Now, I don't know. Is he going to say that he was abused and all that stuff? In this article, and he killed her with a hammer. He searched the home. The police searched the home for a hammer because he was going to kill his father when he came home from work, but couldn't find a large enough one. So he killed the mother, didn't get to kill the father. Okay. He told officers that after dinner, his mother was sitting on the couch using her computer, so he started watching a movie. He said he turned on a popular Menendez brothers documentary. The teen stated he then developed a plan to kill his parents. He said it came to him while he watched the shotgun scene. Investigators said that Reed Gilinski hit his mother on the head twice with a dumbbell bar and then stabbed her with a steak knife. Wow.
Illegal immigration.
Oh, here we go.
Foreign terrorist organizations or otherwise law-breaking activities. So this executive order will direct your Department of Education and Department of the Treasury to basically bring about modifications to the public service loan forgiveness program in order to illegal immigration or foreign terrorist organizations or otherwise law-breaking activities.
And what are the
this executive order will direct your Department of Education. The consequences would be that they wouldn't get forgiveness of their student loans as they would be eligible for if they were working for the government or a normal nonprofit that's not violating the law.
All right. Any questions on that? Anybody have any questions? So we'll talk about the manufacturing turnaround, and it's been very early, but it's pretty significant. The numbers were much better, as you know, than projected by the media, and a little surprising, actually, how strong, how fast, because we have many companies are moving into our country. As you probably know, it's a statistic that everyone talks about, but nobody seems to have done much about. Since the beginning of NAFTA, there's been 90,000 plants and factories closed in this country. Think of that. 90,000 plants and factories have been closed in this country. Many of them have been car manufacturing plants. And that's a terrible statistic, and we'll be turning that around. You're going to see it already. We already have numerous that are being built or starting to be built, and numerous that were being built in other countries, and they stopped, and they're coming here now because of the tariffs. And that's a big deal. That's what you want to hear. During the last year, the Biden administration saw a loss of more than 110,000 manufacturing jobs, or 9,000 manufacturing jobs every single month. It averaged about 9,000 a month, 110,000 manufacturing jobs. During the first full month in office, we've not only stopped that manufacturing collapse, but we've begun to rapidly reverse it and get major gains. We created 10,000 manufacturing jobs in February alone. That hasn't happened in a long time. And these aren't government jobs, which actually we cut. These are private sector manufacturing jobs. So we gained all of those jobs, 10,000 jobs, and we barely started yet. That's a very unusual number. People are surprised by it. I'm even a little surprised. On auto jobs, we created almost 9,000 new jobs in the auto production field. And the reason for that is largely they think things are happening, so they're already geared up. In some cases, they had rooms in their plants, or they had empty plants that they were able to put into use quickly because they see because of the tariffs, they don't want to be dealing with other places, and they don't want to go back and forth and around and through the borders and across Mexico border and Canada border and all of, they want to have the jobs in one location. And they've had space, and if they had space, they were able to create the jobs almost immediately. In some cases, they'll be building plants to take care of those jobs. So we created 9,000 new jobs already in the auto production, auto parts manufacturing. So we want the auto parts ideally, and I think from a simplicity standpoint too, to be built and made in the United States. It's in a single month. That all took place in a single month, 9,000 new auto jobs. You haven't heard that in a long time. After auto workers lost more than 27,000 auto jobs in the final year of Biden. These are also high-paying jobs. These are very prime jobs. The ISM Manufacturing Survey and the S&P Manufacturing Survey have also confirmed that our administration is presiding over a brand new domestic manufacturing boom after major collapse under Biden. It was a collapse. All he did is keep adding new government jobs, which are not the jobs you want. We're trying to shrink government and grow the private sector. That's what we've been doing. Under the final 2 years of Biden, 1 in every 4 jobs created in America was a government job. That's a tremendous percentage. But under the first full month of President Trump, which we haven't even gotten started yet, an incredible 93% of all job gains were in the private sector. So that statistic just came out. Big gains for native-born Americans. For the first time in 15 months, the job gains for native-born Americans, for American people born in America, exceeded job gains for migrant and foreign-born workers. This is the first time that's happened in more than 15 months. Employment for native-born workers went up by 284,000, while foreign-born workers went down by 87,000. Now, you've heard the same stat where foreign workers were taking up all the jobs or almost all the jobs. In some cases, literally all of the jobs. And now it's 284,000 native-born jobs here, people born in our country, 284,000, while foreign-born workers went down by 87,000. First time that's happened in a long time. So these are incredible numbers, and they're very early. I mean, we're here for 5 weeks, but we have been talking about it since the big win in November 5th. So a lot of these people, they listen to us speak and they say, well, I'm going to gear up, and they're gearing up. And so they've been gearing up. They've had a little time. It's not just 5 weeks. It's 5 weeks plus a few months. And they put it into effect pretty quickly. They have confidence that what I'm saying is going to happen. So with that, I'd like to ask a highly respected gentleman, Kevin Hassett. He's been with us for a long time, and he's been right about a lot. We had the greatest economy in history in the first term. And Kevin was a big part of it. So, Kevin, could you maybe give it a little description, please?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Trump. I think that the three things that you emphasized during the campaign is that you wanted to create domestic, high-paying manufacturing jobs, that you wanted to end wasteful government spending and reduce the unproductive government workers, and in fact, unleash them into the private economy where they could be more productive, and to create jobs for Americans. A lot of people said that if you deported illegals, that employment would go down because no Americans would take those jobs. And if you look, 280,000 American-born folks were hired, manufacturing jobs are going up, and this is just out of the expectation of your future policies, really, sir. It's in April when your Reciprocal Trade Act is expected to happen. The tax cuts haven't passed yet. And so people are clearly expecting the golden age. And if you want to forecast the future numbers, everybody, just keep in mind that President Trump has already gotten us $1.7 trillion in commitments of new factories. And those haven't even happened yet. Those aren't even in the numbers. And so I expect this is going to be a glimpse of a golden age to come, sir.
Thank you very much. One other thing, Canada, we find that they're charging us over 200% for dairy products. You know about that. And when I left, we had that well taken care of, but under Biden, they just kept raising it. Very difficult to deal with, the Canadian representatives. 250% for dairy products, tariff. So where do you hear that? You don't hear that. They have a tremendously high tariff. Give you the exact numbers in a little while coming out on lumber. So they sell us lumber. They have a tremendous tariff. They make it impossible for us to sell lumber or dairy products into Canada, but our numbers are a tiny fraction of that, almost non-existent. And what we're doing is freeing up our forests from the environmental nonsense that they put on them, where you can't cut down a tree. And we have to cut down trees in order to build the firewalls. And those trees are sold, but we're freeing it up on an emergency basis because Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs for lumber and for dairy products. 250%, nobody ever talks about that. 250% tariff, which is taking advantage of our farmers, so that's not going to happen anymore. They'll be met with the exact same tariff unless they drop it, and that's what reciprocal means. And we may do it as early as today, or we'll wait till Monday or Tuesday. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to charge the same thing. It's not fair. Never has been fair. And they've treated our farmers badly. Look, our country's been ripped off by everybody. And that stops now. I had it stopped in my first term. And
I agree.
We're going to really stop it now because this has been very unfair. Our country, from an economic standpoint, a financial standpoint, and a trade standpoint, has been absolutely ripped off by almost every country in the world. Canada, Mexico, and then you just go right down the line. India charges us massive tariffs, massive. You can't even sell anything into India. It's almost restrictive. It is restrictive. We do very little business inside. They've agreed, by the way, they want to cut their tariffs way down now because somebody's finally exposing them for what they've done. And same thing with China, same thing with a lot of other countries. And the EU has been a terrible abuser of this country. I mean, the EU was formulated in order to take advantage of the United States, and they have taken it, but they're not taking advantage when I'm in charge. So sometimes you'll hear some negative things. It's always from outside countries. America will be very strong. And, if I'm a foreign country, they're going to do fine. But they can't do like they used to do because we're going to bring back our business into this country. We need it from a job standpoint. We need it from even just a psychological standpoint. Think of it, 90,000 factories are gone since the beginning of NAFTA. So we're not going to have that, and we're going to see them build it back. Now we've already had 5 major automobile companies. First time you've heard this in a long time, since my first term actually, where we were really rocking and rolling, and then Biden came in and he stopped everything. Like such a stupid thing to do, not even a believable thing. But we have many auto plants now coming in. We have big chip plants. We have the biggest chip company in the world, most powerful, probably one of the most powerful companies in the world. Wouldn't you say, Kevin? And he's coming in and they're building one of the largest chip plants in the world. That'll be done in Arizona. mostly in Arizona.
Really?
And that'll give us a big percentage. That one plant will give us a big percentage of the chip market, something we have very little of. You know, we used to have Intel, and Intel was run by a man named Andy Grove. And Andy Grove was a tough, smart guy. I used to read about him when I was a young man, and he did an incredible job. He really dominated the chip business. And then he died, and I guess they had a series of people that didn't know what the hell they were doing, and we gradually lost the chip business, and now it's almost exclusively in Taiwan. They stole it from us. They took it from us, and I don't blame them. I give them credit. I blame the people that were sitting in this seat because they allowed it to happen. We could have protected that so easily. But so we had the chip business, and now it's all in Taiwan, almost exclusive, a little bit in South Korea, but mostly in Taiwan. And it's very important. Everything you do, everything you touch is now about chips. The brake of a car, cars have chips all over the place. I was reading an article the other day where they talk about the brakes of a car are loaded up with chips. Who would think that a brake has a chip in it? But it's all about chips. So that was a big thing. And they'll be investing hundreds of billions of dollars in this country, and we'll be taking back a big, big portion of that industry. We have others coming in too. But a lot of car manufacturers are coming in, and they're coming in fast. And one of the reasons you see these numbers, and again, Kevin said it, and I said it a little bit, but the fact that they know I won the election, so after I was president-elect, they assumed that I was going to do what I said, because I do what I say. And so these numbers really reflect a lot of a lot of things that took place since November 5th, right? So, Kevin, thank you very much. Great job. Any questions?
Mr. President, how concerned are you that the large-scale federal government layoffs will weaken the labor market? How concerned are you?
The large-scale fentanyl what?
The federal government layoffs will impact the labor market, will weaken the labor market.
Oh. No, I think the labor market's going to be fantastic, but it's going to have high-paying manufacturing jobs as opposed to government jobs. We had too many people in government. You can't just do that. We had many too many. This is for 40 years. You know, this isn't just now. This built up and got worse and worse, and they just hire more and more people. You look at Department of Education, it seems like so many buildings I ride by, it says Department of Education. They're all over the place. And we don't even want it. We want the education to be given by the states. It'll be much better. It'll move us to the top of the list from the bottom of the list, and actually save us money. But it's too important to even talk about them. It'll save us a lot of money, but we don't want that. We want education to be given. So you go to Iowa and Indiana and Idaho and all these places, they're so well run. They're going to be producing education that will be the equivalent of, like Denmark is one, Norway, Sweden. Actually, China is one of the better in terms of education, and so we can't blame size anymore. You know, China has 1.4 billion people, but they're very high on their list. The one thing we're doing well on, we're number one on the list, is cost per pupil. We spend more money than any other country in the world by far. So I jokingly say the one thing we do well on is the cost. We spend more money, and yet we're toward the bottom of the list. Yeah.
Mr. President, I want to ask you, the joint address, millions of Americans watched your joint address earlier this week where you warned that there could be a little disturbance that Americans could feel as a function of these taxes, these tariffs. How much disturbance are you willing to accept in the near term as a function of that? And to set expectations, how long should Americans expect things to cost a bit more?
Well, so far, Peter, there hasn't been very much because these numbers are coming out. We're here for just a little over 4 weeks. And these are fantastic numbers. I was watching some of the reports this morning. They were surprised. There could be some disturbance, a little bit of disturbance. I solved a little bit of that because I have respect for our auto companies, and I gave them a little bit of a 1-month reprieve because it was unfair, although I'm sure they'll take advantage of it. I see they're driving a lot of cars into the U.S. to try and avoid the tariffs, and they're taking advantage of it a little bit. But they called me, they asked me, they said, could they have a little bit of help? And I decided, they're American companies, USMCA, and I let them have that. But this really kicks in, the reciprocals, kicks in on, let's see, I guess the 2nd. And I wanted it to be the 1st so badly, just didn't want to be on April Fool's Day. So I made it the 2nd. That's going to cost a lot of money. That one day is going to cost a lot of money, but that's okay. But I don't see it. I don't see anything. I see good reports. I think we're going to have good numbers from the beginning. Now, globalists won't love this because this brings jobs back to America. So if they're coming back to America, maybe you'll lose some in other parts of the world. But the other parts of the world have done very well, and they'll continue to do very well. But I think the United States is going to be doing record business. We'll bring a lot of those 90,000 factories that have been lost over the last number of years. It's been, it's hard to believe. 90,000, think of what 90,000 is. 90,000 plants and factories are gone. We're going to bring back many of those plants and factories.
One day the tariffs are on, the next day they're off. Right now the markets, as you know well, prefer stability. Are you done going forward with the pauses and the carve-outs? Is that it for those?
There'll always be changes and adjustments, and you can't just. I could have, for instance, told the American car companies, "No, I'm not going to give you anything," and then you wouldn't have had to say, "Well, they're getting a little extra." It's just a little bit of a 1-month reprieve. They're very happy about what's happening. They won't have to go across borders, and you see the zigzag, and you have a fender made in Canada, you have something else made in Mexico. We don't want that. We want it made here. But there'll always be some modifications. I mean, if you have a wall in front of you, sometimes you have to go around the wall instead of through it. But I think very little. On occasion, if we can do something, we want to help companies. We want to help companies create jobs. So I could have left that, and you wouldn't have had a minor change. Instead, I was asked by the real majors, the big majors, if they could do this, and I said, yeah, I'll do it. I want you to produce a lot of jobs. And numerous of the people, actually all of the people I spoke to have already been, they're very much on the way to already doing it. That's why you have auto jobs increase. And the man, I don't know him, Sean Fain, I don't know him, and I did great, as you know, with the auto workers, with the Teamsters, with unions. I did fantastically well, best numbers ever by a Republican. And I have a lot of respect for those people. But Sean Fain, who I don't know, but wasn't a supporter, although the auto workers were big supporters. I watched him last night, and he said Donald Trump is absolutely right on tariffs. He said what he's doing on tariffs is an incredible thing. And it's about time somebody had the guts to do it, because we're going to save auto manufacturing. And I said to people when I was campaigning, you're going to have so many auto jobs, you're not going to believe what's going to happen. We're going to load up Michigan. I won the state of Michigan, as you know. And part of the reason I won it was I got a lot of auto workers that voted for me, Detroit, etc. But I think people are going to be very surprised. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. You mentioned in your remarks chips manufacturing, how a significant percentage is now in Taiwan. You also mentioned it in your address to Congress, and you called on Congress to overturn the CHIPS Act, which had bipartisan support in the last Congress. Why would you like to see this particular law overturned, Mr. President?
Because it's hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's just a waste of money. Now, some people have already taken the money and used it. Actually, it's very hard to qualify, because they go by race, they go by gender, they go by all sorts of things. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. You won't be able to find those people. So I don't even think anybody can qualify. They have so many different categories. In order to qualify, you have to have so many of a certain race, a certain gender, a certain this, a certain, and I don't think they can qualify, but if they take the money, they better qualify, because they'll be watching them. But it's a tremendous waste of money. I didn't give the greatest chip company in the world, one of the greatest companies, I didn't give them 10 cents. They came here because of tariffs, because they didn't want to pay the tariffs. And they also came here because they like the results of the election, because they know that I'm very pro-business and pro-jobs. I mean, I'm pro-business, not for business sake. I'm pro-business because of jobs, because business is producing the jobs. Okay?
On Russia, if I may, President Putin is bombing Ukraine.
Yeah.
Do you still believe him when he tells you that he wants peace?
Yeah, no, I believe him. I think we're doing very well with Russia. But right now they're bombing the hell out of Ukraine, and I'm finding it more difficult, frankly, to deal with Ukraine. And they don't have the cards.
Damn.
They don't have the cards.
It's true.
As you know, we're meeting in Saudi Arabia on sometime next week, early. And we're talking, I find that in terms of getting a final settlement, it may be easier dealing with Russia, which is surprising because they have all the cards. I mean, they're bombing the hell out of them right now. And I put a statement in, a very strong statement. Can't do that. You can't do that.
Mr. President.
We're trying to help them. And Ukraine has to get on the ball and get a job done. Michael, could you come up here? I see Michael back there. Wow. Good, I'm glad. He's traveling all over the world. I just saw him come in the door. Could you give a little definition of what's going on, please?
Sure. Well, the president has been crystal clear, and he's been clear to all sides. The fighting has to stop. Both sides need to get to the table. We had a good engagement. Both leaders have said only President Trump could do so, and only he has been able to do so. We had an initial engagement with the Russians. The Ukrainians had a great opportunity to bind our economies together through that mineral deal. Unfortunately, that didn't go so well, but we think we're going to get things back on track. Secretary Rubio, myself and the Ukrainian delegation will be meeting in Saudi Arabia next week to get these talks back on track, get a ceasefire in place, and drive peace home under President Trump's leadership.
I think both parties want to settle. I think if I wasn't president, this war would have had no chance of settlement, zero chance. But I think we're going to get it settled and stopped. We got to stop. They're losing on average 2,000 soldiers a week. That's a lot of soldiers. Do you agree, Peter?
It's a lot of soldiers on both sides, I agree. Do you, Mr. President, think that Vladimir Putin is taking advantage of the U.S. pause right now on intelligence and military aid to Ukraine?
No, I actually think he's doing what anybody else would do. I think he wants to get it stopped and settled, and I think he's hitting them harder than he's been hitting them. And I think probably anybody in that position would be doing that right now. He wants to get it ended, and I think Ukraine wants to get it ended, but I don't see, it's crazy. They're taking tremendous punishment. I don't quite get it, but I suspect, Michael, he probably wants to get it ended.
He does, Mr. President. The Russians are taking incredible losses on the front. As the president has said, this is a meat grinder of people, of material, of national treasure, and no one else has any solutions except to let this war continue forever. But I'll add, the president has had multiple conversations and a visit from President Macron of France, Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom. We have the NATO Secretary General coming next week. We have this meeting with the Ukrainians. We've had it with the Russians. All of this in the president's first month in his leadership. We will engage in the shuttle diplomacy, and we will continue to use his leadership and what leverage we have to get both sides of the peace table. It's not going to be easy, but President Trump...
This war should have never happened. It would have never happened if I were president, but it did happen. So a lot of other things shouldn't have happened, too. We shouldn't have 21 million people pouring into our country through open borders, many of whom are criminals, very bad criminals, including murderers, thousands of murderers. Many killed, far more than one person, and they're roaming our streets. But Tom Homan and Kristi Noem are doing an incredible job, and we're getting them out of here. And we'll get them out. We'll get them all out. But all these things shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't have inflation. We shouldn't have had this horrible inflation where the prices have gone up. Look at eggs. So we're doing eggs. We're doing a good job. We're doing a good job.
Mr. President, in regards to the pause on military assistance to Ukraine, you put out on your social media post today that Russia is pounding Ukraine.
That's right.
Why not provide Ukraine with air defenses? And what happens, Mr. President, when Ukraine runs out of the Patriot missile batteries?
Good question. Because I have to know that they want to settle. I don't know that they want to settle. If they don't want to settle, we're out of there.
Right.
Because we want them to settle. And I'm doing it to stop death. More important than anything else. Secondarily, way down the line is the money. So we're in for $350 billion, and Europe is in for $100 billion. They should be in for the same or more than us.
Yeah.
And, I watched
they love to
over
talk
the
so
last
much.
week or so what's going on in Europe. This thing could end up in World War III if we don't get it settled. This could really end up in a World War III. We got to get it settled.
So on Iran, how confident are you that the Iranians will negotiate with you? And is Israel on board with this outreach?
Yeah, I saw the hostages the other day. They came in, people that were not young, some young and some older, much older. And they gave, it was hard for them to do it actually. They gave statements as to what happened. I was asking, what happened? How was it? I said, did you see anybody in there that was kind, like out of the hundreds of people that you were seeing, Hamas? Did some of them wink at you and say, don't worry, you're going to be okay, or give you a piece of bread, or no? I said, were there any people that were like kind? I was shocked. The answer was nobody. There was nobody. Just the opposite. They'd be slapped and punched. One man broke his ribs. He couldn't breathe for a month. It was brutal. I was so surprised. Could you think there'd be a couple of people that would be kind, that would say, you're going to be okay? But they had none of that. It's pretty amazing. Brian?
Thank you, President.
He's a kind person.
Well, according to
although not to Zelensky, he wasn't.
Well, you know what? That's another.
But to Trump, he's been good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
Nice tie, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I like yours too.
Two questions. One on peace. Why don't you think any other European countries are offering a peace deal? It seems like no one's come to the table for peace except for you.
Yeah. It's a very good question. Sometimes questions aren't answerable. They're in a very unusual position. They don't know how to end the war. I think I do know how to end the war. Despite the Russia hoax, I've always had a good relationship with Putin. And, you know, he wants to end the war. He wants to end it. And I think he's going to be more generous than he has to be. And that's pretty good. That means a lot of good things. Because frankly, you could have made a great deal if this war never started, you could have made a great deal. I don't know that anything would have had to be given up. This was not a war that was going to start, Brian. And it didn't start. For 4 years, somebody said, well, how do we know that? Well, for 4 years, it didn't start. I used to speak to Vladimir about it. I used to speak to him about it at length. It was the apple of his eye, but there was no way he was going in. And he knew, there were going to be consequences. But it did start. I mean, think of what happened. Inflation, you have the war with Ukraine and Russia, that wouldn't have happened. October 7th would have never happened. Israel, they had no money. Iran had no money. Iran was stone cold broke, and now they have a lot of money. But that's going to be the next thing you'll be talking about is Iran. What's going to happen with Iran? And there'll be some interesting days ahead. That's all I can tell you. You know, we're down to final strokes with Iran. That's going to be an interesting time. And we'll see what happens. But we're down to the final moments. We're at final moments. You can't let them have a nuclear weapon. I think that I would have had a deal within 1 month after the rigged election of 2020. They were all set to make a deal. And then when I lost, they saw this person who's a stupid person, very stupid person. And they said, let's not make a deal. And they were right. He took the sanctions off. They became rich under Biden. They went from having no money to having $300 billion. All in a short period. It's oil. Oil builds up fast. It's a nice living if you have a nice oil well. And they do. They have a lot of nice oil wells, right? So anyway, it's going to be a big thing. It's an interesting time in the history of the world. But we have a situation with Iran that something's going to happen very soon. Very, very soon. You'll be talking about that pretty soon, I guess. And hopefully we can have a peace deal. You know, I'm not speaking out of strength or weakness. I'm just saying I'd rather see a peace deal than the other. But the other will solve the problem.
Mr. President, your allies are calling on you to pardon Derek Chauvin. Are you considering pardoning Derek Chauvin?
No, I haven't even heard about it. No.
Mr. President, on peace.
I haven't heard that.
In the first term, you may recall, I broke the news that you were nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. And the reason for that was the work that you led on the Abraham Accords. I spoke yesterday with the member of parliament, the Norwegian parliament, that nominated you. And he said what the Nobel Committee is looking for from you, Mr. President, is security guarantees for Ukraine. Is that a possibility, Mr. President?
So, before I even think about that, I want to settle the war, get it finished. Because if I'm not here, nobody's going to settle it. And President Macron has said that, and Every president, everybody said that. The prime ministers and presidents. We're pushing very hard. That's all I'm thinking about now. As far as the question about security later, that's the easy part. The hard part is getting it settled. We got to get them. We're losing 2,000 human beings every week. More than that, actually. 2,000 nice, young, although they're getting older because they're drafting much older now. In the case of one country, much older, because a lot of the young people have been killed. It's very sad, and I'd like to see if I could stop that. And I'd like to also see if we could stop making these massive payments from the United States. I mean, Biden gave away money like it was water, with no anything, got nothing for it. Europe did it in the form of a loan. They get their money back, we don't. So that's how we came up with the rare earth deal. But we started, behind the 8 ball. He could have gone to Europe. He could have said, "Come on, you got to put up money with us. You got to put up money with us." But he never did that. They just kept handing money out because he was grossly incompetent. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
It's very sad, and I'd like to see if I could stop that. And I'd like to also see if we could stop making these massive payments from the United States. I mean, Biden gave away money like it was water.
Like he was
Oprah.
Oprah.
No anything, got nothing for it. Europe did it in the form of a loan. They get their money back, we don't. So that's how we came up with the rare earth deal. But we started, behind the 8 ball. He could have gone to Europe. He could have said, "Come on, you got to put up money with us. You got to put up money with us." But he never did that. They just kept handing money out because he was grossly incompetent. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right, everyone. That was President Trump remarks from the Oval Office. A lot of news to talk about there as he says new tariffs will be implemented by March 11th for Canada.
We want to grab
that
it with
was
both
a big
hands here
takeaway.
on this
And
channel.
then another
Your
one
front seat to
talking
the golden
about
era, and in obviously that same spirit, we're deeply thankful that the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, ladies and gentlemen, will be joining our program live right now.
What?
His name is Doug Collins. He's an Air Force colonel. He served his country in wartime. He's an absolute total patriot.
That's dope.
Tariffs and what that can mean to different companies here. So we are live now from Fox. We will be with you, continuing to be with you as we take a 2-minute break in just moments. We'll have more live events. We are also awaiting a crypto event happening at the White House a little bit later this afternoon. We will have that for you all right here on Live Now from Fox. We'll be back in just...
Okay. Sorry, I was starving. First thing I ate today. All right. I guess that's it. So yeah, tariffs starting. I think reciprocal tariffs, especially for big countries, maybe it's good. I think it's good. We should get our piece. And it's crazy that he said he seems like he's having an easier time dealing with Putin than Zelensky. I don't think Zelensky wants the war to be over, to be honest with you. I think he wants to remain in control. He wants to keep power. If the war stops or it's over, maybe he has to hold votes again, an election again. I don't know. Kohberger. See?
Kohberger has bushy eyes.
Yes.
That's his signature style. So now the defense attorney wants to rule the eyewitness testimony out because she said the killer had bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's correct, because you got to understand something. It was a suggestive identification based on all the drawings and the sketches in her bedroom of men or other people with bushy eyebrows. And when you have suggestive identifications, they lead to misidentifications.
That's not true.
It could.
A suggestive identification. A suggestive identification is when the state suggests to the witness who they should identify or how they should identify the defendant, the suspect. I don't know if you think I just fell off the turnip truck, but I have law degrees from Mercer University and NYU and tried over 100 felonies in Superior Court alone, all violent. So don't try and contort the law with me, Dubé.
Ooh, she snapped in his ass. The bushy eyebrows is important. Just like with Luigi, them bushy eyebrows. That's the main evidence. For me, fuck the DNA, the finger, all this stuff. It's the eyebrows. You can always tell in the eyebrows. I'm just kidding. But I think it is important for them to bring that in. All right, I'm going to get off for now. We'll see what happens today. It's Friday. I hope you're doing good. Hope people are doing all right, you know. And I am jumping on the main. I have it set for 3:30 Eastern, but depending on what, I might jump on early or whatever if I have to. If anything. And if there's breaking news or whatever, I'll jump on. All right. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I was thinking, Bama, I might do something. Hey, Bama, how you doing? I might do something too with that. I might collect everything and cover the Kohlberger stuff. And I want to see Nancy. Yo, so she covers it? Let me see. Maybe I should do that later. Interesting. There's a lot I could do. All right, we'll see you. But I'm going to get off for now. Thank you guys so much. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop. Catch you later. Bye.